We're locked up. What's going on, guys? So we're back with the Tc185 build. In the last video I took the bottom end apart that came out the bike originally, and we broke it down and found out that both case halves were cracked. We found out the Kickstarter gear was stuck and a bunch of other stuff. So I got the new bottom end that I ordered that was already split in half, and I took it apart, inspected it, and found out that we can use it. So now it's just a matter of showing y'all what I've been doing since the last video. I think this is part 4. So let's look at what I've been doing here. So anyway, I completely broke down the original bottom end. Like I said, it's cracked. It's got a crack here. The other half has got a crack down in there. So these had like almost new bearings in it, or they felt new. The bearings that was in the bottom end that I got, they had set up, got rust in them. I tried to free them up, they weren't no good. So this is the bottom end that I bought, and I completely stripped it down, cleaned it up. I pulled the transmission out of it, went through, lubed it all up, make sure all the gears and stuff were sliding and moving right. So it's ready to go back in. The Kickstarter gear that came in this engine was missing this little flapper piece here, and what that does is ratchets. It actually ratchets your Kickstarter. So when you kick it, it's like a one way. It's hard for me to do it with one hand, but it won't go backwards. So the Kickstarter gear that was in the original engine was froze. I got it apart, this is the shaft right here, and it's got a lot of markings on it. So I don't know what was going on with this engine. I don't know if somebody been in it, they didn't put it together right. Kickstarter gear froze up. They went to kick it, it cracked the cases. I don't know, but I robbed this little flapper thing out of the Kickstarter gear shaft when I finally got it apart, and we put it in the one that came in this engine. So it's ready to go back together. For now, I'm still waiting on the gasket set. It was coming from overseas somewhere. They didn't give me a tracking number, so just hopefully be here in the next couple days. But this is the transmission out the original motor, and I'm using it as a reference. So if anything falls apart, I know how it all goes back together. But we got all this stuff here to go back on, kind of got laid out. But anyway, my plan is to stick the crankshaft, the transmission, just put the whole bottom end back together since I don't have the gasket set yet. The only thing the gasket does is seals up the two case halves. That's the main gasket I need to finish it. I'm planning on just sticking it all back together. We'll put the gear shifter on it and just make sure all the gears and stuff work, make sure Kickstarter gear work, make sure it's just make sure everything's moving and functioning like it's supposed to. And once the gasket gets here, I can go ahead and just split the case. I'm just gonna throw it together with like 2 bolts, split the case, put the gasket in the middle, and then put it back together. I just want to verify that the transmission is working, because I don't want to stick it all together, seal it all up, put the top end on it, put it in the bike, and go to find out that we don't have first gear, second gear, third gear, whatever. I want to make sure everything's functioning right before I finally put it in the bike and we try and fire this thing up. I still haven't got to the bike yet to get it cleaned up. I'm planning on doing it. We had like some little cold weather come through, and by the time I get home from work, it's dark. So I gotta get the bike out, get it pressure washed. But main thing we're gonna focus on is this engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready to put the transmission in, the crankshaft, get it back together just temporarily, and then we'll check, make sure she shifts and everything pans out right. We can go ahead and throw our new seals in, and like I said, when the gasket comes, go ahead and put the gasket. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the transmission back in this thing. Hopefully I can get this Kickstarter shaft to line up right, because it's got to go around the spring, and I'm unsure. I can't remember if it's got to go in all together or what. It's kind of a funky setup. Uh-oh. I got stuff all caught up. I know there's this bottom gear. It's gonna slide off. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to put this bottom gear in first. It's kind of like a two-person job, but I'm gonna make it work. Let's see here. I don't want this Kickstarter gear to come apart, because if it does, the spring is going to pop out of it. I'm way off. Okay. Oop. I think we did drop down in there. Zip tie right here I gotta get rid of. That's what's holding me up, is a spring. Kickstarter spring. Well, it's in there now. Let's see. That's in. Something still ain't. I tried to lube everything up. So it can just drop right back in the hole. There it goes. Sit right down in. So that's in there now. It's all in there nice and tight. I just got to put the spring on the Kickstarter. I just got to make sure everything don't fall out. There's actually a little piece on the other side. It's gonna gain some weight now. There's a little holder that holds the shift drum from falling out, and this was actually supposed to be on the other side. This is supposed to be I don't know how they got that all froze. Everything on this motor I got is froze up. But I gotta put that holder back in. Here's the Kickstarter gear. I don't know if I had to wind this spring up and then put it on there. I just put it back in there and heard it click. I'm guessing it's flush in there. I put the spring back on that'll keep it from flying out. Because when you kick it down that way. I'm wondering, see that's unwinding the spring there. It's supposed to kick back this way. I won't really be able to tell until I put the side on if I gotta wind this spring up, put tension on it. I know there's a stop that this shaft goes into. Well, when you kick it, the spring's going to coil, then it's supposed to go back that way. So I'm just going to leave that like it is. I'm going to go ahead and put that holder in there for the shift drum. I really need to use the one that came out of the other motor. I think it's still on the motor. This one's a lot cleaner. I just don't want everything springing out. Now, that's holding that in there. So, without flying, can't see. So that'll hold that in there for now. And I need to take this zip tie off for now. Because that's what's holding everything up. Okay. Let's see something here. It's trying to turn everything. Another zip tie I had on there? Thought I had 2 zip ties in there. Oh, I do. I couldn't see it. It's all wrapped up in there. Well, I'm not going to worry about kicking it over. I just wanted to make sure it was going to turn everything, which it sounds like it is. I got to get that zip tie off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just put the whole motor back together, like I said, to where we can put the gear shifter on it and see that the gears work, and make sure the Kickstarter works and all that stuff, and then we'll go from there. That was blocking my light. As far as I can see, I know I got to put that back in. As far as I can see, everything is everything's back together. I got to get that zip tie out of there. Turn everything. Can't go closer because the Kickstarter gear. Just trying to choose everything functional. Yeah, the Kickstarter's starting to work now. It's starting to spring back. So I guess that's enough tension on that thing. When I let it go, it's springing the gears back. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the crankshaft in. Put all this other doolally stuff on, and we'll kick this thing over and see what it does. be that bearing that's hanging up on it. It's about tight everywhere else. And that is that stupid dowel pin. Why still got a gap? I think it's that dowel pin, because everything else is lined up. It's gotta be that dowel pin. I gotta fix it where this motor's not falling. Kickstarter gear is right in the way. That's better. But I got a small gap. I need to check something. Just looked at. Okay. I thought maybe that block half was cracked at the bottom. I was just have a fit. For some reason, we're not going all the way down. When you're dealing with case halves, you got to be careful. I'm gonna regret it when I get ready to take it back apart. We ain't gotta have it all the way tight, but I just wanted it tight enough where we can shift the gears and everything and make sure it works. I'm gonna leave it like that. It ain't gonna come apart. That noise is I think it's that gear shifter. I mean RPM gear. Oh, no it ain't. It's hitting the side of that brick. Oh boy. Alright, so we got it back together. It's still got a gap, but I don't want to completely flange it because I'm going to be taking it back apart. I'll probably put some more screws in it though. And I got to put that Kickstarter bushing in there. And I got to start putting all the shift shaft stuff, the shift shaft back in. And get just a couple screws. It's already trying to come back apart. Let me get a couple screws. I could just get a long bolt and bolt it like that. Stick a long bolt don't think I can do this side here. Well, yeah, I can. My neighbor's riding his Can-Am. That thing stays on the street more than anything. So I'm gonna stick a bolt here on the front and the back, and that'll hold the motor together. So we're back with the Tc185. So I finally got the gasket set for the bottom end. Waited like 2 or 3 weeks and finally got it. For some reason the shipper or the seller marked it as the cheapest shipping that didn't have a tracking number. Took forever, but we finally got it. This company here, it's called NipponMoto.com. Found them on eBay. At the time, they were the company that would ship it out the quickest, but after contacting them, they said I marked it the cheapest shipping, which that was a lie. They did. So it took a couple weeks, but now we got the gasket set. I don't know if I mentioned, I could not find a front sprocket for this bike. They do not make it anymore. It's discontinued. Called a lot of sprocket manufacturers. Checked on eBay. I talked to a couple machine shops. I did find a machine shop that can take just a regular 12-tooth sprocket and the sprocket to fit the bike and made them together somehow, cut the center of it out. Kind of a real strategic job. But this bike takes a spline type sprocket, and the spline it's a real big spline hole. All the other ones are kind of a small spline hole. So like I say, they discontinued it, so I looked around. Some companies say they had it in stock, but when I called them, they said it should have been removed from their system, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully the machine shop can get that sprocket made up for me, and once we get it all together, we'll be able to ride it, because it needs a front sprocket. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this gasket on, so I can go ahead and put this case half on and bolt it down finally after waiting so long. Get something to cut this open. I hate I had to wait so long to get the gasket. Let's make sure it fits though. Move this to the side over here. Make sure that's still clean on both sides. So the gasket fits like that. We'll make sure it's cut right. So it goes like that. It has these little holes that's not punched out. I don't know what's up with that. But I'm gonna put just a thin coat of sealant. I don't know what's up with this, but I don't want it floating around in the bottom end. I'm gonna put a thin coat of sealant on the surface, and hopefully I won't have to take it back apart. I'm thinking about just go ahead and order another gasket set, but order it from somewhere else. That way, if I have to take it back apart, I have a gasket on hand. I mean, for what they cost, I would rather be safe than sorry. But I had it all together and it was shifting and everything. I went through the gears. It was kind of stiff, but I kind of lubed everything up, kind of split the case a little bit and kind of sprayed some lube down on everything. The Kickstarter was working like it's supposed to. It wasn't hanging up, and when you turn the clutch shaft, it wasn't trying to spin the motor with the Kickstarter all at one time like it was doing before. So I'm trying to get a little, I should have just put the sealant on the gasket. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want silicone down in the engine, so it goes like that. So what I'm probably going to do is probably lay the gasket on this paper over here and put some sealant on it. Be a lot better than trying to do it on the engine. And the way this thing comes apart, you have to be real gentle with it because everything will come just springing out. You have to just take it apart. I was kind of nervous taking it back apart, taking the case half back off. Just something was going to spring out, but I can pretty much remember how everything sets in place. Plus I took pictures, and then of course we got the videos, so I shouldn't have a hard time putting it back together. It's kind of nervous when you're working on something you never really work on before and take it apart, then you let it sit for a couple weeks and you come back and you're like, where'd this go? So if you're doing a job like this, I recommend that you take plenty of pictures. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, do you a short video of what you're doing with your phone, and that way when you get ready to put it back together, you know exactly how it goes. Because I could have got a service manual, but at the time it was going to take forever for them to come. But then after waiting on the gasket set, I was like, I could have waited on the service manual. It would have been here way before the gasket set. So I mean, but I don't think we need a service manual right now. So I think we're going to be all good. All right, let me get this gasket. Yeah, I do believe I'm going to order another gasket for it though, because I'd rather have one on hand. I don't know if I'm going to order from the same people though. I might. But if I do order it from them, I'm going to tell them they need to rush ship it this time, so I won't be waiting forever. So I want to make sure I kind of overkilled it with the silicone. I put it in some spots so I think that needs to cut out, but we'll wait to cut that out. It's where the crankshaft is. That little area up there needs to cut out. I guess I could cut it out, because that opening where the crankshaft is, I mean where your rod goes, cut that out. I got silicone everywhere. Okay, so we got sealant on that side. Now this side, I was kind of thinking about not putting sealant on one side. I looked it up, and some people were saying put sealant all the way around on both sides. Some of them were saying if it didn't come with a gasket, use silicone only. Some of them were saying. So I kind of thought about just not even put silicone on one side at least. Let's just say we had to take it back apart, gasket ain't came. I don't know. I might just put just a thin bead on there. I mean, from the factory, they don't even use sealant. So what you guys think? I hate to just seal it up all the way. I think just to go ahead and put some on there anyway. You have to be careful because you have oil passages. In some areas, and you don't want to block those oil passages. You know what? I'm actually thinking. I'm really thinking about not even putting silicone on this side. It didn't have it from the factory. It just had the gasket. Oh well. I started now. Ain't no sense of cleaning it off. I order a gasket set today, so that way I have one coming. I just kind of leery of it, you know. You can only screw up once. I just don't want no leaks. Put this thing together, fire it up, look up on the bottom of it, case half leaking. Now that sucks. Then you got to start all over again. Take it back out, split the take the top end off, split the bottom end. I mean, that is a freaking nightmare to have to do all that over, especially after you get it running. I wouldn't want to do it. All right, so let's get this thing back on and get this rocking and rolling. I might squirt a little bit more WD-40 on the transmission. What did I do with it? Just a little bit, not to get it on the gasket. I'm gonna kind of lube everything up again. For some reason this transmission had like a sticky, oily film on it. And I had to clean it off. I soaked it in some gas and come on down. Getting on that crankshaft is the problem. You have to be very, very gentle. Patience is the key. Kickstarter gear's hanging up. Dang it. Kickstarter gear's hanging up. Ooh, I didn't like that. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff will spring out. There it goes. See how stuff will spring out at you? There it goes. It's all together now. Now I just got to get the screws. It's got like 85,000 screws that holds the case halves together. And I kinda made a makeshift motor drawing and put it on that box. There's a check ball that goes in there where the shift drum at, which I ain't worried about it right now. It'll be I guess I could put it in this little check ball. That's for your neutral switch. I think it had to line up. If I'm not mistaken. I just want to check this out right quick, because I think there's like a little detent in there. I guess we can wait on that. Let's go ahead and get the screws in. But I remember it should be all in the same spot because I didn't move anything. just want to make sure nothing moved. Shouldn't have moved though. I think we're good. Just gotta go in there. That goes in there like that. Okay, let me see if I can get these screws right. Because I took them out and I kind of remember where they go. Over there. So that's behind there. This one goes in there. This one goes in there. Make sure you put your screws back in where they're supposed to go, because some of these screws are longer than the other ones. So that screw there is in the wrong spot. That one takes a long screw there. I'm thinking, I messed up already. And then you can actually bust the case if you're not careful. You can bust the case if you're running the wrong screws in. You get the torquing down and you can bust the case half. Man, that would suck. So make sure you putting the right screws in, because you can screw up big time. Big time. Mess around and put the wrong screws in there, especially if you got a bolt. I mean, a Phillips head screw, you can basically tell if you're putting the wrong screw in the hole, because you can feel it stop. But if you're doing it with like a battery operated impact or a ratchet, run that sucker through there, crack the case. So try and get you like a cardboard box like I did. Make you a template and put all your bolts in it. just take your time, go around, tighten everything up, make sure everything's still spinning, there's no binding. I can't really spin the crankshaft because just kind of snug everything down. I'm gonna go back and re-torque everything anyway. I'm just snugging it down just to it actually went together easier than it did when I did it the first time, when I just put it together just to test it out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to lay it on the side. Yeah, crankshaft turns easy. I'm going to lay it on the side, make sure it's still shifting before I finalize it. And that way, before the sealant dries, we know it's shifting. I gotta go find the shifter. I'll put it back up. I don't care about silicone getting on the cardboard. I just wanna. I think I had to have it sitting at the edge here. Make sure everything is still in place. And let me go grab the shifter. Well, I had the shifter, that was the shifter to the TS100. I don't know if it's the same thing. Actually, that should be a gear there. That's a gear. It took me a minute to get it to shift right. That's a gear. That's a gear. So that must have been, that's neutral. That's neutral. That should be second. Let me get the right doggone gear shifter. Come here, Mr. Gear Shifter, where you at? I had it the other day. There it is. I think this is it. Nope. Yep. Should be still shifting fine, because the only thing I did was just lay it on the side. But you always want to double check. Okay, now we're shifting. That should be neutral. Wait a minute. No, I was wrong. Okay, there we go. That's all the way up. That should be, I think, 5th gear. Then we're coming down. fourth, third, second, first, and then halfway up should be neutral. I think we're good. It's actually shifting better now, I guess, because, you know, I lubed everything up, because before it was kind of stiff, and then the camera stopped. So in case you didn't see that, we're all the way down, so that should be back to first. That should be first, then up, second, third. I think that should be fifth. I can't really tell. Hold on. Alright, we in gear for sure now. So that's first gear. Halfway up, that's neutral. Second. It's hard for me to tell which the gear is. It's hard for me to tell. I'm trying. It should be shifting though, because I can feel it going in all the gears. I just can't tell. Like, that should be neutral. One way or another, it's going to have some kind of gear. And then you got the high and low. Will that fit it? You can shift it from high and low here. Okay, it shifted up there. I can tell that's a drive gear. That's got to be neutral. Then second, yeah, that's second. It's hard because the motor ain't sensitive. Third, okay. It's got to be like fourth, fifth. Okay, there we go. Woo! It's kind of hard because I'm trying to hold the motor steady, roll the sprocket, but it's going to work out. It's going to pan out. So now we know the bottom end is back together. I just got to finish torquing the screws down. I wish I had something better to hold it, but I don't. Because she is not light. Alright, so it is back together. We verified that it does shift something. Now I just got to go around and torque these screws a little bit more. Which I'm going to torque them with take a hammer and impact them in tight. I don't want to ooze all the silicone out, so I'll let it sit like this for a minute. So I think we're good, ladies and gents. So I got to put the clutch on. On the other side, put the clutch back in. What else goes over there? I think, yeah, put the whole clutch. That side to be done. Put the side cover on. This side I got to put the generator, stator, alternator thingy, electric start motor, which I got some new brushes coming for it. They haven't made it here yet. A lot of this stuff is coming from overseas. The gasket set came from Utah. I just don't know why it took so long, but that's a different story. But a lot of this stuff's come from overseas, because I guess they still play around with these motors over there. Oh, except the sprocket, which sucks. Alright, well, I am going to let that sit. I'm going to torque everything down. We'll move on to putting the clutch and stuff on. Alright, so I got the clutch basket in there, and these clutch discs and fibers are really rusty. As you can see, I'm going to take some sandpaper, start cleaning them up. I started on this one a little bit. Just take some light sandpaper, clean all the rust off. They were all stuck together, so these don't look too bad. You really don't know the thickness of them unless you take a micrometer and measure them, and you see what they're supposed to be at. But they're not all the way wore down. They're not past the wear marks. These little grooves, if they get past that and they get flat, they're gonna slip. So for right now, we're just going to clean up all the clutch discs, and get it back in there. I just kind of stuck that one there so I know to start with the fiber, and then your steel, then fiber and steel. You run it all the way out, and we'll get ready to put the basket back in. It's got this plate and these springs here. There's little pins when you pull these springs out. You gotta slide the little pins in there. You can go back on the I think first or second video. You'll see when I took all that apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these cleaned up, and we'll get it in there and see how the Kickstarter works. I think how the Kickstarter works, when you kick it, this freewheels, but when you got everything in there, the spring pressure holds it tight to the outer basket, and then when you kick it, this gear turns the crankshaft gear, so your crankshaft will rotate. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that in. We'll see how that works and get all these cleaned up. It's gonna take me a minute. Alright, so I had to get creative to get these springs pulled out so I can put the pins in that holds the clutch pack together. As you've seen in the pictures, I got the clutch plates and the fibers all cleaned up and soaked them in oil. Now I just got to get these pins in there, and so what I did those two just to test it. I went in with some zip ties, hooked the spring. Of course I got the motor ratchet strapped to the table. What I can do is pull the spring out of there. Make sure it's in there tight. These springs are turned either way. So I take some vice grips, kind of clamp it on there. Almost lost one of these pins again. So with it zip tie, ratchet strap to the table, I can almost pull it out. It's really a two-person job. You really need somebody putting the pins in while you pull the springs out. It'd probably work a little easier in the bike, but since we got, well, actually you had to have the bike stable where it won't go flying off of the kickstand. So let me get some better vice grips. I don't know how better they are. Really need some needle nose vice grips, but I can't find them. Let's see. Hopefully this will work. So pull the, see, if you do it like that, you really need it where it's going to flex. It's hard to move it. Maybe I can get it turned on an angle. Something like that. And then let the spring rest on it. You see that? So now I can just take some snips, snip the that is one weird setup. Usually they have just a bunch of bolts and some springs that goes through the clutch pack, but Suzuki back then, I don't know what they were thinking. So we're gonna go in that hole, fish out the spring. It's hard to see what the spring is. So one of these is a screw that they cut off. I guess we can use it. It was holding. I was going to try and find like a wrist pin, old wrist pin out of a piston. I think it'll be the same, but I didn't have a piston with wrist pins that big. Oh, that one's way a lot easier. So let it rest on there. Look like they grind a flat slide on that bolt, I think. Did they grind a flat on it? Look like they did. Might be able to turn it. Somebody got creative. They lost one of them damn pins. We got 3 more to go. And I hope I got all the pins. It's supposed to have been 6. That one's got to be over here. Uh-oh. I had all 6 of them. Ooh. Did I drop one? Oh, Lord. Well, I already lost one. Pretty sure I had all of them. I thought I counted all of them. Huh. I guess I'm going to have to make one. I lost one already. Oh, here it is. Right in front of my face. These things will roll around, man. You gotta keep up with them. So I'm going to put that on the vice grips. Get another zip tie ready. Go fishing. Hook in there somewhere. You can kind of twist the spring when you bring it out. Oh man, that sucker's tight. Like I said, let it rest. That was kind of difficult because I can't see. Ah! No, don't fall in there. I might be able to do it by hand. Let me see. Yeah, I can do it by hand. Whew. If it would have fell off in there, I've been screwed. I would have had to take all of them back out. Go in there and get it. Ingenious idea, Suzuki. So, got 2 more. Let's see if we can go in there. Push that spring somewhere onto it. That one ain't gonna be easy. I almost dropped it. I guess that's why it's good to do it with the vice grips. One more and we are done with this clutch. That spring got them zip ties, I can tell you that. Make sure that's tight, that's turned straight. Alright, one more. Use up all my zip ties. I got some more. Long as we get this job done, we are good to go. It's hard to see in there. I can't see this. What I'm hooking on to. Pull it out. That one was easy. Oh, woo! That is a job right there. Now we should be able to take this ratchet strap loose. I should be able to kick it over now, and the crankshaft will turn like it's supposed to. Move all this stuff out of the way. Here's the Kickstarter. Look at that. Now we kickstart. So without the clutch pack, you ain't gonna be turning the motor. So once it cranks up, it should freewheel. See, before when you turn the clutch pack, the Kickstarter will go back and forth, back and forth. That's because the Kickstarter gear was froze on the shaft, and then all that other stuff we found wrong. But now it turns like it's supposed to. Alright, so now what I gotta do is put the clutch cover side on, and then we gotta go on the other side. And what's over there? The only thing over there is the sprocket, which I'm waiting on. I gotta put the armature back on for the electric start, and put the two-stroke oiler in. And then we can put the cylinder on. Well, I'll probably just go ahead and put the top end on, get that out of the way, put the cylinder on, then we'll put the armature on, then the oiler. So I really want to go ahead and get the top end back on it. That way I can paint the motor. I think I'm just going to paint it, black. It was originally black. The motor that was in it was originally black. This one was originally the, aluminum color. But I think I'm just going to paint it black so it can match the old engine, and should be good. So I am going to get this clutch cover on. There's nothing to see with that, it's just a cover. And then go ahead and put the top end on and keep moving on. I still got to paint the frame of the bike. I haven't did that yet. And so once I get that painted, then we can put the motor back in it. And I got some other stuff to do to it too. But at least we got all that back together and we know it kick starts like it's supposed to. Alright, so we got the motor finally back together. Got the cylinder on it with the ring and piston. I got the armature on it for the electric start generator. I got the oil pump in it. Checked it, made sure the oil pump worked. Got it in there. Got all the oil lines ran up to the bottom end. So when the oiler works, it pumps oil out of the tank, which hooks here, goes through the pump, through these lines. One of them, there's a tube right here inside of the intake of the head or cylinder, pumps oil to oil your piston. And the other one, this one here, pumps oil to lube your crankshaft bearing that's on this side where no oil is. So this thing has got to have the oiler working, because this bearing over here will not get much oil. So that's why they got this line that pumps 2-cycle oil into this bearing behind the armature inside of the case. So this oiler system's gotta work. I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of bypass. Maybe that bearing will still get oil, but it's gotta work, and we're gonna hook it back up. Got the carburetor all ultrasonic cleaned and back together, and got the kickstart on for now. The kicks over good. It's got good compression. I will put the plug in it, but then I can't kick it over. But yeah, she kicks over. The Kickstarter works. So now I'm working on getting the new brushes put in the motor here. This is your starter generator motor. There's some brushes that ride onto the armature. Well, actually it rides right here on the armature, and then your points ride right here. So you got a set of points, and then you got a set of brushes. So I ordered a new set of brushes. These came all the way from Japan, and I think it's 4 of them. So I got to take this cover off here. I'm gonna try and mark this, because this is all timed for your points. You can adjust the timing and everything. So it looks like this is a slotted, well, you won't have to take these screws out, just these 4 screws, and this plate should come up, and your brushes is up under there, spring loaded. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that off so we can replace those brushes, and get y'all set up. Sometimes I wish I had a camera person, like some of the big YouTubers. They got a camera person that just follow them around and video, but I'm not that lucky and not really able to pay somebody like that, so just gotta kind of do it by myself. But anyway, let's tear into this motor here. It's just a big electric motor is all it is. So let's tear into it and get those brushes out. There's wires getting hooked on the camera tripod. So the only thing we need is a good flathead screwdriver. It is freezing here in Memphis. Got a lot of snow, like 18-degree weather. So nothing better to do than stay inside, try and keep warm, and fix the projects that we got that are down. So let's get this off. That's your condenser. So we should be able to just move that to the side. And there is the 4 brushes. They're in their own little separate thing here, and they're spring loaded. So you have to push these back in order to get them over the armature. So that might be a task. We'll probably just be better just to leave the point system off, and then we'll be able to push these back. But you see, these are all wore out. They're almost back to the metal part where they sit. So they need to be replaced really bad, or the electric start won't work right. Or the generator. So we gotta make sure we replace those. Get y'all back where I had you at here. All right. So let's go ahead and get this tore down. So it looks like we just need to take this little flathead screwdriver and pop that screw loose, and the brush should pop right out of there. Let me get some better light because I can't see worth a flip. Is that better? Somewhat better. So anyway, so the only thing we need to do, the spring needs to push back and the brush pops out. And look how wore down that is. And I'll show you the new one. These took a while to get here, which I wasn't in a hurry for anyway, because I hadn't got to this yet. So it didn't really matter to me how soon they came, but I didn't want them to come by the time I got ready to put the motor in. But you see how long that brush is compared to this one. So this is probably the original set of brushes in this bike, or in this motor here. Never been changed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take them all out. Just pull that spring back and slide right up out of there. I'm gonna take them all out, and I'm gonna clean this area real good with some electrical cleaner. Got to be gentle with this stuff because I don't know if anybody else has got it. I think there is a guy that's got a electric motor for one, I know he has the armature, but I don't want to break it and have to try and buy it. So we're gonna be as careful as we can. So we just slide that back, and it's just like brushes in like an electric motor, like a drill or a grinder or something like that. It's really the same thing. Let's get down there closer. I can see. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna scoot all this to the side. And I'm gonna spray some electrical cleaner on there. Get it all nice and clean. All goes well, we have electric start and a good charging system. Don't use carburetor cleaner. Get you some of this CRC contact cleaner. Works good on electrical plugs and brushes and stuff like that. Carburetor cleaner will eat up stuff. So anyway, we're going to slide that back. So that brush sticks out way longer. And this motor is pretty heavy for a two-stroke, even though it's a 185, but it's got all this extra stuff like this stator armature generator thing, starter thing. I can't get the screw in there. So when that's back, it slides just like that. So let's grab another one. Same scenario. Pull the spring back. There's a slot that the wire rides in. Man, that one don't want to go in there. This one, the wire goes up under the other wires. I guess that's how it's gonna have to go. It's got like 3 other wires that go up under the brush wire. I just can't wait to hear this thing run. Been working on it for a while, and last one. That one's in. So all 4 brushes are in. We can put these up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna leave the points just kind of hanging to the side. That way I can get this back up on there easy. And because you can't see the brushes with the points on there. But I am going to pick it up and wipe out the inside. Just got to be careful. So, I guess I turn it that way. And I'm going to need a light. I gotta get some more lights. I had a bunch of them and broke all of them. But we work with what we got. All right. So now we need to put the stator on the armature. Alright, so I got all that. I gotta go get the screws that holds it on. Hopefully I know where those screws are still. Just 3 screws. I think these are them. It's 3 Phillips head screws. I remember. So this thing just got some weight to it. So it's gotta go on. It's got a magnet too that's gonna suck it right up on there. So all these brushes has gotta go back. And see, there ain't no way you can do this. With the points in the way. Really need something to hold them back, like maybe some zip ties or something. Maybe wrap a zip tie. Once the points stay going like that. Wrap a zip tie around the spring, I guess. Let me see if I can get. I need about 12 hands. Good thing I bought a good stock of zip ties. I don't know if I can get the zip tie in there. It's gonna be kind of hard to do there, unless I can hold the wires. See, that when I took it off, the brushes were so wore out that it just slid right on off. But now, yeah, that's gonna be hard to do. I'm gonna have to zip tie that back somehow. At least 2 of them until I get. Well, you know what? We're doing this all backwards. Why don't we just take the brush out? It's gotta go into the back anyway. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, we'll just take the brush, set the brush back like that. I didn't think about that. We could have put the brushes in last. Oh well. There we go. Look at that. Man, this thing gonna be starting like a jet airplane. Alright, so we got that on. Now we gotta put the 3 screws that holds the whole unit. I thought about putting all this together on the bike, but I was like, it's easier to do it on the table, I guess. We already got the motor out, so I won't put the cover on because the clutch cable hooks to it, and I gotta hook all that back up. So then the points can go back on. I really hate this thing, this points model. I don't like points. Got that screw there. It just gained like 10 more pounds. It's kind of hard working like this though. Look at that. I should have ordered a new set of points. I don't even, well, those look pretty good. I didn't think about it, but I think they'll work. This bike was running when that countershaft sprocket thing went down. The case got cracked. So there it is. It's all together. Of course, I'm gonna have to set the points. They're moving though. See, this outer spacer here is egg-shaped, so I don't think it does. When the points go around, it opens the points up, closes them. Try and go around. You gotta be able to see the points. They're barely opening and closing. Pretty sure I'm gonna have to clean them. But that's it on that part. So now it is really together, and I'm still waiting on that sprocket to come. They're supposed to make me one for this spline shaft because they don't make the sprocket anymore, but we still can put it in, and we can still crank it. Hopefully by the time I put it in, I have the right sprocket for it, and then we can move along with trying to ride this thing. So I'm gonna get on getting the frame painted now. I gotta get the frame all painted up, and we'll get this motor in there. Alright, so the Tc185 is now completely stripped down, almost. Went ahead and just decided, instead of just painting the frame where the motor goes, just to go ahead and strip it down, and let's do it right and get the frame painted in every little nook and nanny. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull the front forks off, and that way I can get the front of the frame good. I'm going to pull the back wheel off. Just go ahead and just take it down and shoot it with some nice black paint. These forks are so pitted. I mean, they are pitted bad. And I'm pretty sure once you ride it and those forks make contact with those seals, they're going to start leaking. So I don't know if I can even find a set of forks for it. I have to do some looking, but restoring one of these old bikes can get pretty pricey. Or pricey, my bad. They can get pretty pricey, especially these antique ones, because a lot of guys know that they got it and it's nowhere else, and you got to get it from them or just don't get it at all. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead, get the frame the rest of the way stripped down, and shoot it with some black paint, because it's gonna have to be pressure washed. Once I pull the fender off and everything, it's a lot of dirt. I got a new rear fender coming for it. Not new, but a used one, because the old one was cut. And yeah, so we will just mess with this one a little bit at a time till we get it back together, and hopefully it all pans out right. So y'all just stay tuned for the Tc185. I know it's not going to be going as quick as I want it to be, but I want it to be right. And I just hate to put a freshly painted motor in a frame that's all rusty and dirty, faded out, you know, especially if somebody's going to buy it. And I mean, it's not going to be a collector quality rebuild, but if somebody's just going to buy it and like actually ride it or just put it in their collection with their other Suzuki old school bikes, it'll look halfway decent. So like, share, subscribe as always. Thank you for the comments, and hit that hype button if you see it below, and just keep a lookout for the old Suzuki. All right.